Welcome back to Ben Salutes. As you guys know, I'm a big cartoon fan. I love cartoons so much, I love them more than real life. Yes, I went that far. Anyway, when most people think about cartoons, when you think about cartoons, what do you think of? Probably a lot of different stuff, but if it's one thing that defined the cartoon, it's the Looney Tunes. The Looney Tunes has got to be is basically an American icon. It's an American what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, basically it's just good. Okay, it's good. Looney Tunes has been around for like since the 1930s, and it succeeded Disney as the most popular cartoon series in America at that time. Looney Tunes was just amazing. It had so many lovable characters. That's one. That's one of the good. Yeah, that's one of the good things about this series is that if you didn't like one character, you had another character to like. If you didn't like that character, then you had another character to like, and so on and so on. Had so many characters to choose from, it was unbelievable. Of course, I had no favorite character, but they're all good in their own right. I think Looney, I think every single Looney Tune needs each other to make itself good. Looney Tunes was basically the godfather of animation. I bet out of all the cartoons in the world, this is a cartoon series that most animators are influenced by. It was funny, it was fast paced, it had art, and it was just amazing. The animation was amazing, the music was amazing. They were fully orchestrated cartoons. They were orchestrated by a big orchestra in the Warner Brothers studio. Looney Tunes started out as an independent, well, not exactly independent, but it was small, and it was headed by two former Disney employees that were making kind of Disney-like cartoons. It wasn't until later on that they started to bring in new directors. Then it wasn't until Tex Avery, when he arrived, changed the he made cartoons funny, and from then on out, cartoons were basically in from every director up until Tex Avery mimicked Tex Avery's style and made the Looney Tunes funny. That's how they stood the test of time. Looney Tunes were kind of the first. I think they were the first cartoons ever to use wacky style in animation. That's what makes them so groundbreaking. Looney Tunes was home to some of the best directors of animation known to man, like Tex Avery, my all-time favorite cartoon director, Bob Clampett, one of Tex Avery's best animators, who continued Tex Avery's wacky style, but Clampett went a little over the top when it came to wackiness. Chuck Jones, he's not exactly my favorite when I was little, but now that I grew up, his cartoons are good, but some of his cartoons that are considered the greatest ever, I find them kind of overrated, but Chuck Jones is still a good director. Chuck Jones had the style and wordplay that made his cartoons shine. Friz Freleng, who had some slapstick and expert timing when it came to his cartoons, and Robert McKimson, who is the most underrated out of all the directors because most of the people don't think his cartoons are as good as the others. But I think they're good in their own little way. They're not exactly like the rest of the directors, but they don't have to be. It's just his own style. That's what makes them unique. Anyway, Looney Tunes at that time were just great, and they're timeless. I mean, besides the war cartoons, they are cartoons that they stand the test of time. They're just as funny today as as they were 60 years ago. Heck, they're probably even funnier. Almost Looney Tunes are the cartoons that I laugh at the most. I mean, every little thing that they do makes me laugh, whether it's winking or raising an eyebrow or facial expressions. I laugh, but it doesn't take me much to laugh at these. That they're just that good. Looney Tunes. There's nothing else I can say about them. Words cannot describe how good the Looney Tunes are. We grew up with them as a kid, and most people grew up with them as a kid, and we like them just as much as we like them. I think what's cool about the Looney Tunes is when I was a kid, I just laughed at all the violent stuff. Now I laugh at almost everything. I appreciate it more, and I understand it more. That's why Looney Tunes is so great. Looney Tunes was so great that almost every other cartoon studio at that time was trying to mimic the Looney Tunes and make them a little bit, and make them just like it. But they they tried and they didn't succeed that well. Heck, even in modern times, there were people who tried to make shows based off the Looney Tunes, but they didn't succeed that much either. Sure, some of them were good, like Tiny Toons, but they just weren't the same. They just weren't the same as Looney Tunes. But they were good in their own little way. Oh, I forgot to mention that most of the Looney Tunes characters were voiced by the one and only Mel Blanc. He voiced almost every character: Bugs, Daffy, Porky, no, not Elmer, Yosemite Sam, Tweety, Sylvester, um, everybody, almost everybody. There are some few characters that he didn't voice, like Elmer, and just Elmer wasn't played by him. And of course, Mel Blanc didn't play any of the female characters, but that's what, it was just amazing when I find out that most of those voices were done by one man. Just amazing. Looney Tunes are just amazing. They were great back then. They're even better now. And I hope that for years to come, Looney Tunes are never wiped off the face of the earth. I salute you, Looney Tunes. If it's one influence I can pick, if it's one influence I can get out of when I'm making cartoons, it's the Looney Tunes. I want almost every single one of my cartoons to be like not only Looney Tunes, but almost every other classic cartoon. Looney Tunes, I salute you. You were amazing, and still are. This has been, and I'm signing out.